Hello everyone. So we have Harpreet with us, and today it is all going to be her personal. Harpreet,
Good
over to you.
evening,
Please go
everyone.
ahead.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining into the launch of GEG Ludhiana, India. So, before we start everything from giving us a purpose to setting up us as successful citizens of the world, teachers inspire in us a drive to to do well, to succeed in life, and to recognize the hard work of our mentors and gurus. Teachers' Day, as it is today, is celebrated in India with great pomp and show. So, in India, it is marked as the birthday of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was the first Vice President of India from 1952 to 1962, and it was also a highly respected teacher, philosopher, and a prolific statesman. He went on to become our second president of India in 1962 and was of the opinion that teachers should be the best minds in our country. He then, when took office of the second president of India in 1962, his students approached him to seek permission to celebrate 5th September as a special day. Well, as Dr. Radhakrishnan was instead made a request to them to observe September 5th as Teachers' Day to recognize the contribution of teachers to the society. So here we are. What better day to choose than this wonderful occasion of Teachers' Day, where bring you, I thought of extending my hands to the community of teaching fraternity that I am a small part of, with an ambition to work collaboratively with the teachers, with educators around the world. I hereby announce the launch of GEG Ludhiana, India. Thank you so much for being part of this beautiful journey to begin with and to look forward to what we are going to. I am very excited for all of you to be here with me, and I can't wait to share my launch. So let's get started. I'm going to tell you about what GEG is. What is
Harpreet,
meant? Yes,
should
ma'am.
we introduce our guests first? All
Yes,
those who
please.
are there on the screen ones. Yeah,
Absolutely.
esteemed panel. We have an esteemed panel with us today.
Absolutely. So we have starting with Dr. Narjeet ma'am. And as their session progresses, I'm going to find a little more detailed history of what I could search, I could find, I worked with. So we have Dr. Narjeet ma'am, going on to Dr. Miss Deepti Sahani, who's the CEO, founder, Mahatattva. We've got Dr. Vishal Varia, who is the founder of GEG Ahmedabad, and we have our director, Mr. Bay, Martial Bay, the director of the French Embassy School. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, my esteemed guests and the audiences who are here to us. So we're going to go on from here, and I'm going to introduce myself. My name's Harpreet Kaur Chaudhry. I am the leader of GEG Ludhiana, a town of Punjab aptly called as the Manchester of India. I have worked with it is. I have worked. I've lived in Delhi. I am in Delhi right now as well. Throughout, I work with an international school called Lycée Français International de Delhi. I am a primary school teacher. I've been working in the teaching and education field for more than 20 years now, and it's just technology has been just a huge passion of mine, along with teaching. So and in the ed tech world, when we learn different things around, so my learning, as it is a continuous process of life, I believe that we should not stop learning, we should not stop thinking. Then there is if we do that, there's no creativity in the world, and knowledge for us is life. So here I am, happy to have you all. Going on to my journey, we have introduced our dignitaries who would be taking you through the session. So, Narjeet ma'am, maybe if we can start with the slide deck.
Of course, of course. So you are going to explain first, Harpreet, right?
Yes,
You are going
yes.
to go first, so I'm going to share my screen.
So, what are GEGs? Let's check on that. GEGs are the global educator groups. They connect passionate educators to discuss the benefits of technology to schools, classrooms, communities across the world, both online and at locally run events offline. These groups provide forums for educators to collaborate, share empower, and support each other. We do get inspired from each other to go further. Who can join a GEG? Well, you may be a principal, you may be a school administrator, a professor, a student, anybody who wants to use, who's interested in Google tools, Google products to foster their learning. It is run by educators all across, like people like you and me. Our group is organized by local volunteers. So here I am volunteering locally from a state in India, and it is run, which is free to attend events. There will be webinars, modules, weekly sessions, fortnightly sessions, various boot camps, and we will be happy to share tools that we get updated with to share. Now, here I would like to say that off late, Google has started with uh, encouraging people to do it in their regional languages. So that also will be one of our goals. We will be looking forward to doing it in Hindi, doing it in Punjabi, which I am a little stronger at, along with English. So our sessions would be a mix of many languages or just one focused, dedicated language. Here, I would also like to tell you, anybody who's interested at any point in sharing their resources, sharing their knowledge, you are more than welcome to join us through our different social medias, wherein you can approach us and you can be one of the presenters to share what you know of. So, with this, we have a small vision we feel we would be taking care of in the times to come. Starting with our first guest of the day, we would have Dr. Varia, Dr. Vishal Varia. What to say about him? An excellent leader, a certified career counselor, certified Google educator, and trainer. He's a doctor in education while leading school management. An educationist having a value of commitment and eager to learn new systems, tuning technology in day to day tasks, tech savvy, and very down to earth person. He has his objectives to contribute values and worthiness in the field of education. For with my personal experience, I have known him for just a few months, but he has been such an encouraging pillar in my progress so far. You call him anytime, he is ready with a smile. You can feel that. I've never met him personally, but you can feel that in his voice that he's there ready to help. And I am sure the teachers who've been connected with him have a pleasure and have a real chance to work with a leader like this. Over to you,
Oh,
Dr. Vishal.
oh my God, ma'am, you just flew me to the cloud nine.
Well deserved, though.
Yeah, thank you very much for this warm introduction, and I'm so glad to join you for the launch of your GEG Ludhiana, and all the best wishes for the same. Today's my topic is should I be sharing the screen for the same, or
Sir,
can
I am.
somebody?
I am. I'm checking. Just give me a moment. I think the net is working a little, slow at my
Don't-
end. But yeah, you can carry on, sir. I'll in the background.
Okay. So, just to start with the topic, basically, I'm here to discuss the need for teaching in 21st century. Right? This is not a new word now. This is nothing new. That no, it has been a very known thing, like how to teach, what to teach in 21st century. There's a lot of theory content flowing into the net, and you could be finding a lot many videos. But here I'm going to share or point with you. Okay, ma'am, let me just share my screen. Is it okay, Narjit, ma'am? Okay. So I'm not here to discuss with you, but I'm just to share with you some important points regarding what you should be taking care of as a teacher when you're teaching in 21st century. So it's just one particular image. As you can see in the image, that are 10 essential characteristics of 21st century educator. Obviously, educator being in the center of it, whereas an educator is first of all a learner. That is what we are. The pandemic has taught that whatever we have learned in the past is going to get all. We need to just upgrade and learn new things. So obviously, first concept is educator is the learner. Even if you know your topic, even if you're expert of your topic, you need to learn about your learner, right? As the particular saying goes in the education pedagogy, that to teach Joe, you must first learn about Joe. So, as a learner, your first thing is to learn about the audience or the pupils that you are going to teach. So, if you know them very well, you would come to know how to teach them well. So, that is the point. Then a teacher must be inclusive. Okay, a teacher must have inclusive approach in the teaching. They must involve themselves in how would the learner feel when a learner learns the topic. So it is inclusive. Teacher must also be reflective. This is an essential characteristic. Reflective here, reflections does not mean that we just go on posting that we taught this, we learned this. Just go on posting on social medias or Twitters or LinkedIn or Facebooks. Reflections basically means that the reflections in form of your say learnings with the students or your teachings with the students, that what would the student understand when you have taught them that particular topic. So reflections is not only boasting about achievements. Reflections basically focuses on what work you have inputted to enrich the learning of the students. So another concept is a teacher in 21st century needs to be network. Obviously, this is where we are in a network right now. See, we talk about GEG Ludhiana, we talk about GEG Punjab and Amritsar, or GEG Ahmedabad, or in the GEG this is called a PLN, Professional Learning Network. So you must be a part of some network where you can get some feedings that you can learn your topics from somewhere. So if you need to expel, if you need to teach something, there should be something you should be learning as well. So where will you learn as a teacher from? So professional networks or professional development areas or professional development centers are the places where you will be learning. So teacher must be networked for that. A teacher must be innovator as well. Okay, it's very simple. You must be innovative in your ways of education, in ways of delivery methods, in your ways of explaining things to the pupils or to the audience, and many more. A teacher must be leader. Leader means you should lead the class, you should lead your colleagues, you should lead your group to a proper position. You should have an exemplary approach. If you just instruct the child, if you just instruct the student that this is how we need to do the work, first and foremost thing as a teacher, you must show them, you must demonstrate them this is exactly how a child should do the work. So leading means you must have an exemplary approach here. You must be a very good storyteller. When it comes to storytellers, that means you have different categories of audience with you. Some audiences will learn when you just give single instructions. Some audiences will require one or more instructions, and some audiences will learn at the end of the instructions, or maybe third instructions or the fourth instruction. So you must have different ways and means of telling stories. You must have explaining to the audience. You must have different ways and means, different words, different meanings, different examples, okay, to explain the same topic. A teacher must also have a concept of as designer or an artist. So as a designer, you must be designing your content. What should be shared with the students, how it should be shared with the students, in what portion. Suppose, just imagine a drawing teacher is there, okay, and the drawing teacher will just give them the drawing, will be displaying the drawing onto the screen, okay, and then the teacher will say, students, just draw what is there on the screen. But the students will be halted. They would not know how to draw, because from where to start is the important point. So as a designer, the teacher must be explaining to the students how you must be starting your learning. As an artist, you must have different ways and means to depict your content. Different ways and means different medias. You should be explaining through means of chart, through means of images, through means of tables, through means of theories or text, through means of diagrams, likewise. And most importantly, a teacher must be a relationship builder. Okay, that means relationship builder. You must build good relations with the students. You must build good relations with the colleagues, with your seniors, and you must also inculcate the same values in your children, in your pupils, that they should also be building good relations. So this is just 10 essential characteristics. It is not limited to this particular diagram, or it is not limited to this particular characteristics. But yes, there are many more things in 21st century. We have come almost halfway, you can say, and we are going to unearth many more things in 21st century so far as education is concerned. Technology has just penetrated into education, and we are just seeing the wonders, how technology has changed the way we deliver the content to the students, how we even create the content, and how we actually explain to the students. So these are many things. So as a 21st century teacher, if you're teaching in 21st century, the very first thing is that you must be ready to adapt and upgrade. This is the very first and most important thing that as a teacher you should be doing, and this is what I wanted to convey in the very first part of this launch. Harpreet ma'am, I think this is sufficient for my part of topic. I think we can
Thank you
continue with
very much.
our.
That really was very interesting and really important for a teacher to understand as an educator what role he or she can play and this shift that is happening in the education. Thank you so much, Vishal sir. We'll come back to you again to have your
Thank you,
feedback.
ma'am.
Going on to our next guest, Martial Bay. Originally from Belfort, Martial graduated in language sciences at the University of Besançon. He has managed many institutions in France, Malawi, Croatia, Tanzania, and now in India. He joined Lycée Français in 2018 September, and I must say he seems today as a part of us, as a part of our India. I'm amazed to see his fascination for the incredible cultural diversity of our country, the way he has ideas of excellent educational integration. He has proved to be a wonderful administrator, and as he is a beautiful soul, a good human being. He is going to update us on the shift in the education system in lieu of this pandemic that we had going from offline to online system. Over to you, Mr. Bay.
Thank you, Harpreet. So, thank you. No, I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm going to just to talk about the pandemic. So, since the pandemic, the education system changed a lot, and it's true that sorry, sometimes with my English, but it's true that we change how to teach, since this pandemic. It's true that it was before, of course, we use, the computer, everything, but with online, all the teachers change and they need more tools because we need when we do online teaching, it's quite important to know many tools to help the children and to do a very good lesson. And it's true that since 2 years, I think at the French school, we, all of the teachers, my team, learn a lot, but they need more. And I think it's quite important, like this GEG, to have a space to discover more and more tools, because it's very important. And we know that now the pupils are very comfortable with this, and we have to continue this. Actually, we are in physically at the French school, but we have to continue what we've done during this pandemic time. Okay.
Very rightly said, Mr. Bay. We have evolved as educators, all of us struggling through this time where we were still, many of the teachers across the world were still stuck to the chalk and slate system, and suddenly they were given pen and tablets to work around. And I guess teachers have worked very hard and proved that they can do anything if given the right direction. Thank you so much, Mr.
Exactly.
Bay.
Thank you,
So,
Harpreet.
next we have on screen would be Dr. Narjeet. Now, she is the one who has nominated me for this GEG Ludhiana. I would like to welcome her with whole heart. She is creative, a resourceful teacher with 15 years of varied instructional experience in various educational fields. Last 6 years, she's dedicatedly uh, um, involved in educational technology. She's a resource person for All India Education Forum, a published author, Microsoft certified innovative trainer, recipient of many prestigious awards in the field of education, and over and above, she is the founder and leader of GEG Punjab and Amritsar. She's one who, like I said, has nominated me, and also she is our vision that we see. Again, like Dr. Varia, you call her anytime, she will relax you, she'll calm you, and she's there so you know, kuch bhi galat nahi ho sakta, nothing can go wrong. Everything has a solution, go for it. So there you go. Over to you, Narjeet, ma'am, all yours. You're on mute, ma'am. You're on mute. Yes, ma'am. Fine.
So you are so inspired yourself that I did not have to do much. You are so hardworking, as Dipti ma'am also pointed out, and Bay also said. So you are really inspiring. You are very, very hardworking, and it was a pleasure to collaborate with you. It was a pleasure nominating you. So yeah, and I hope that we are going to have long, long association after this today. So I am Dr. Najit. She's already introduced me to Lens. Yeah, and today we are going to talk about more of Google Workspace. So Google Workspace, as we say, is something that we've been having is an education. It is an education or a set of Google tailored to Google tools to tailored and services that have been tailored for the schools and homeschools that we call, not in India a big kind of phenomena right now, but maybe you never know, in the years to come homeschools might also emerge in our country as well. So Google Workspace for Education are the set of tools that help us for schools to collaborate, to streamline instruction and keep the learning safe, right? It comes and it is available in many different editions. There are free editions and there are paid options as well. And Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, people, is free for the schools. So if you haven't applied yet, and if you meet certain criteria that they have set for the schools, you must apply for the same, because this is a suite of tools that can help you increase opportunities for critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, all while supporting the learning objectives that you have for your students. So the tools that we just mentioned, these are the skills that are essential for modern students. And the Teachers' Day's theme for 2021 has been 21st century tools or skills, right? So these tools or workplace schools, they are a big impact. They're going to make a big impact in terms of setting your students apart when they are applying for, or when they are beginning their careers with, right? So let me talk about critical thinking a little. Critical thinking, according to me, is just a practice of problem solving, among many other qualities. But for me, it is addition to working through problems, say solving puzzles and many similar activities. It also includes an element of skepticism, I always add. So it is very important in the 21st century because it is harder than ever to verify accurate information today, right? It empowers the students to discover the truth in assertions, especially when it comes to separating facts from opinions. So, with critical thinking, students just don't learn a set of facts or figures. What they are learning is to discover those facts and figures for themselves. And how do they do it? They ask questions, they become engaged in the world around them, they help others think critically too. And this is the most important part of critical thinking. Once one student has it mastered, it quickly spreads to their peers, whether they learn how to think critically from spending time online or simply asking why. So, in everyday life, this skill prepares students for a life of independence and purposeful thought. And creativity for me is a practice of thinking outside the box. I always say thinking outside the box. So it is often treated, as I say, as you have it or you do not have it. It's wrong. You can inculcate creativity as well. Teachers can make students learn how to be creative by solving problems or creating systems or just trying something that they haven't say tried ever before, right? Now, creativity in our part of country mostly is thought about. If you're an artist or a writer, you are creative. It is not essential to be an artist, or it is not essential to be a writer to be creative. Instead, it actually means that a child should be able to look at a problem from multiple perspectives, including also others which others might not have been able to see right now. So creativity is something that allows students to embrace their inner strengths, from big picture planning to meticulous organization. Everything you can teach children creativity. Teachers, please, if the child is not creative enough, You can make them see creativity, embrace creativity, and allow their strengths, work on their strengths actually. So as the students learn about their creativity, they also learn exactly how to express it, and that too in a healthy way, maybe in a productive way, right? They get motivated to share creativity with others. Also, the more you motivate them, the more they get motivated to share it with others. So, just like critical thinking, as I mentioned earlier, creativity also is infectious, it is contagious. One student creates an interesting or innovative solution, others also want to do the same. So get the students inspired, let them be creative in the class, right? Collaboration is something that I'm very thankful to Google for, and all the workspace tools that Google has given us is something that we can do or something that we can work on with a lot of collaboration. Something is the collaboration. What is collaboration? Actually, it's a practice of working together, but to achieve a common goal, right? Now, collaboration also is important because whether students realize it or not, whether you realize it or not, probably all of them are going to work with other people, as we are doing for the rest of their lives. Virtually every job requires someone to work with another person at some point of time or another. Even if it is something as simple as let's meet for a lunch, let's go for a cup of coffee, this collaboration will be there, the teamwork will be there. So practicing teamwork, practicing collaboration, practicing togetherness, as I say, helps the students understand how to address a problem, how to pitch solutions, and also decide in the while decide the best course of action as well. So it's very helpful for them to learn, what other people are thinking, what other people. It also gives them a field to understand that their ideas are important, but other people always also do not have same ideas as they do, and they need to respect the ideas of others as well. So in fact, when the students practice this collaboration more and more, they will learn that they have almost maybe sometimes none of the ideas which others are having, and they will be maybe motivated, who knows, inspired to do better than the ones who had given them ideas, right? So more they learn about critical thinking, more creative they are, more important it is that they practice the skill of communication, right? Because with communication comes a lot of collaboration also. So communication is often taken for granted in today's society because after all, if you say something, that means that you have conveyed something, right? But in this age of text-based communication, all these emails and social medias, it has never ever been more important for the students these days to learn how to convey their thoughts in a way that others can understand them, not misunderstand. Even if they misunderstand you, they must have those skills of communication to put across their ideas in a healthy way, in a better way, in a way that others also understand that these are ideas, they are not imposed on us, they are just for sharing, they are just for, ponder upon. So all these tools of Google Workspace, they are free, they are ad free, they are reliable, and they are secure. They're already been used by millions of students in schools around the world. Uh, Free is great, right? Free is great. But the best thing after it is free is that these tools are relevant to students. They are easy to use, and they open doors to many, many, many new ways to learn. So there is Google Workspace for Education Standard. There is Teaching and Learning Upgrade. There is Google Workspace for Education Plus. All these are the editions that are available. And to qualify, as I mentioned earlier, that it is free. Google Workspace for Fundamental Education is free for schools, for K-12 schools. You have to be K-12. You have to be a higher education institution globally. There are a few there is a set of criteria that you have to meet, but once you are there, your application is accepted, you are good to go, right? So there are a few tools like Google Classroom, Google Drive. Google Drive is almost my home. I am in and out of it all the time. There are tools which are which can be used to save your time and increase the student engagement in the class, and the teachers must use these tools. They are using. And on Teachers Day today, as India celebrates Teachers Day today, I want to give a huge shout out to all the educators that have been doing immensely awesome work in the last 1.5 years. In India, we are still working online. The schools are still online, and the struggle is still on. So, right, we have Gmails and calendars and meets and sites and groups that have helped us really a lot in the past 1.5 years, as I said. And then there are Google has some other tools outside of Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals, also that can be used in the classroom. Which you may be able to access simply with your username and password. They are mostly known as consumer products. They are not covered by Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals. For example, there is Chrome or YouTube, Google Maps or Blogger. So, and this workspace has a lot of support for you. It has support centers if you want to reach them anytime. And if you want to learn more about them, you just have to go there. You just have to find out. You just have to see what they are, and find out for yourself. They are amazing tools. Amazing. There is a sea of knowledge, a sea of information just waiting for you to take a dive. Come on, take a dive, and you are good. You are good to go. So that's the power of Google Workspace tools for us. Yes, sir. So
That
that
was
is,
a
yeah, yeah.
powerhouse. That was a powerhouse what you shared. And I hope with this, every educator who's connected with us now or later will surely get a dive into this and explore for themselves. And let me just assure you, it is very easy to use. Google has all the guidelines to move on step by step. It shows you the way. You just have to open it and explore it, and you are there. So there is nothing you have to struggle. You learn one after the other, mostly without help. So try it, is what I would say. Once I saw one of these GEG launches where the last one we were told that teachers need to come out of their inhibitions, their apprehensions. And once you are out there, you know the world is yours. Thank you so much, Narjeet ma'am. With this, I'm going to take you through now to a wonderful tool as Narjeet ma'am has activated the senses of Google. So whether you are remote, online teaching still, or physically in classrooms, Google Sites is a great way to show or share your information, your assignments with your students. Most of you are aware that how to create Google Sites for your classroom. However, I'm going to show you, take you through a little glimpse of Google Sites, how you can make the layouts, the banners, the themes more interactive, more visually appealing. Uh, if I'm going to show you to custom the buttons, how to make those interactive buttons to make your website a little more appealing for kids, since they have been for most of us online, and as you would every year spend so much time decorating your classrooms to make it environment friendly for the kids, to make it welcoming for the students. Now I think with the remote teaching, teachers have learned to create that environment, that comfort for the teachers online, using their Google Classrooms, their sites, their interactive tools they are using, and just to make them feel, to believe that they are there and it is part of them. So let's quickly go hop onto my computer, and we are going to work on with the Google Sites through Canva. Canva is a wonderful tool. It's a graphic design platform that allows you to create graphics, presentations, posters, and other visual contents. It provides tools and thousands of templates, clip art, stock images. And what cooler than this, that it provides pro features that are free for educators. So let's go on to my screen, and we go on to canva.com. So once you reach canva.com, you have this right top button. You click on create design. We look for Google Classroom banner. Here, Google Classroom header. Once you open it, opens you to a new window. and it gives you loads of templates to choose from. It's that easy. First, we are going to create our banner, the header, and then we are going to move on to embed them in our sites. So here, we have to rely a bit on the speed of the internet. So please be a little patient. It's going to come. And there we are. So on the left, you see a lot of options that you can scroll through. So this gives you a list of banners. So let's choose this one. I like colors. So I'm going to just click on it, and there it is. You click on the banner here, the header, and you can edit it. You can change the size. You can change the font, the color. I'm going to just click it. I want to change this. And there it says, I can keep this, and I want to change my name to English class with I'm going to just change this. Here, and I'm done. I want to change this. I want to bring it, resize it, change the color. I can change it from here. I click on the font. I want to make it more colorful, more brighter. I can do that. And there it is. Now, the second thing I need is to download it. Simple. I download as a PNG, a transparent background. And I am downloading it. Here on a folder, let's see, it already says I'm going to create a folder here. Let's do. And I have my header that says English. I am done. Now my header is ready for my site. I want to go and choose a custom button. I'm going to go back to my Canva. Close this. I again click on create a design. Now this time I'm going to look for logo. That would give me a square template, which is nice for the round buttons that I like. I will click on elements. And these days, the trend is those watercolors. I really like them. So I'm going to choose the watercolor circle. And you can even choose a color to add into your choice. So I'm going to add watercolor. And I want to add a circle to it. So watercolor circle. I like these backgrounds to be on my button. I'm going to scroll down a little, and I can choose the colors I want. I just click on it. There it is. I will resize it to fit it onto my area. I am done. Now I'm going to choose a white circle to give it a nice look. I want to make it appear nice. Let's see. I'm going to choose. I scroll down. Again, this is all in my elements. And maybe I can choose this. And I can resize it if I want. Now, this is the button I'm creating for my website. So maybe I want to choose the simple ones. I'm not going to choose this one. I'm going to delete. I want this. Okay, so my background is gone. I want to. It's very simple. You just undo and you're there. I want this. So here, now this is black. I want it white. I'm going to resize it. I can change the color also. So here I will choose the size I want. And there I have this black box. That's my color box. I can choose it. There's a host of colors I can choose from. You can add more. You can customize them. And there it is. So I make it a little bigger. Banner needs to be bigger as well. The only time this takes is to adjust the fittings, the size you want. And now I want an image. So since it's a website button I want to add, so I'm going to add a laptop. So let's go. And here there are these 3 lines. I have filter search. I want to click on animated, apply filters. And I think I'll go with this one. I can flip this. So I will size it the way I want. So it's right up here. Now I want to add a text to it to label my button. So I'm going to click on text. I will choose the font or the style I'd like. And let's see, I want to do a simple one. Okay, let's go with this. I can delete what I don't need. I move it down and I change it to websites. I resize it according to my requirement from the handles. Put them in and there it goes. My button is ready. I add a page. Now I want another button. I'm going to add a page. I go back to my elements. And this time I want watercolor again. I want another shade of blue. It's one of my favorite colors. So I'm going to go watercolor blue and circle. I'm going to make this time a contact button. So I like this dark one. Let's go with this. And there it goes. I'm going to go on to choosing my white circle over it to just have the right contrast. This time I think I'm going to change to some dotted circle if I can find some with lines. So here, I think this one looks good. So I'm going to click on this, adjust it here. Now I have to have my image. So I'm going to again go back to my element, and this time I want, since it's a contact, let's go on to mail. Again, I click on these 3 lines to choose my filter. I need the animated apply filters, and there it goes. So here I can place it up, size it to my button, and I want to add text now. And I say, okay, this one works well. I have 2 of them. So I resize it here. And I say contact me. I can even change the color. Like I said, I don't want the red. I'm going to click on this and I want a bright yellow. I can add, it's not in the panel I want, so I can add. So I want a bright yellow here. And I think there. I'll go with this. And it is good to go. And like that, I'm adding my buttons. Now my buttons are ready. Now I had 2 animated ones, and the last one I'm going to take is a 3rd button, which will be a regular still image. So I'm going to add again watercolor circle. I'm going to choose a purple one. And there it goes. I have a circle I want to choose over it. I want to add an element of homework, an image of homework. And there I want, let's say this one, like this. I want to change the color. I go to the color, I click on white. It looks more appealing. I put it up here and I add a text that simply says homework, and make it white. Change the size and place it down here. And it's ready. My buttons are ready. Now I have to download. I'm going to just change because I want to show you something which is not moving. So white circle. Sorry. Here, and I'm going to take something that's just still. So you'll know the difference between and there it goes. So I'm done with this. Now buttons are ready. Now I have to download them. Now you can download normally all of them together if there are still buttons or still images that you've taken. But here, since we've got a mix of animated and still ones, so if you see, we've got to, normally when you do that together, the Canva downloads only one image at a time. So if they are still, I would suggest do it all together. But here we've got all different. So I'm going to do page 1. I download it as a GIF file. And here I save as download page 1. I click on download. And there I have my same folder. I click on websites. My second button, it's done. Thank you. Second button, I can click on download.
Harpreet ma'am, that was something really beautiful, very vibrant, and you check out my sites from today. I'm going to start using all the buttons that you've just shown. Everything. So you just have to, guys, you just have to download it and you are good to go, right?
Yes, absolutely. You go to your Google sites and
Yeah.
you just embed them there. It's just the internet is a bit slow.
I know. Internet is giving us problems today. So
So here we are on our new site. You just have to embed onto your site. And here, this is your site page that opens. Just one trick I'm going to tell you here, which I saw. I'm going to just name the site as launch. So here, this is your home page when you go on to Google Sites. And there, when you click on it, normally there's an option of change image. This is where you upload. But what I figured out, the moment your image that you've made, the banner or the header, when you show it in the mobile mode or the tablet mode, it doesn't show. So it cuts it. So instead of that, you don't need the title because I gave the title on my site. So here I'm going to delete this. And instead, I'm going to add an image to my header. Once I add that image, like always, regular insert, I'm going to add my image. Here it goes up, I drag it, and then I can size it. Once this is done and set up as an image, it shows up on your mobile phone the way it is. It doesn't cut on the sides, and there it is. You can resize it the way you want. There it is. And then when you insert the buttons, you click on image, you upload the image, and you have all these buttons that you have created. And there it is. Contact me. You've got an image of, you can place it right next to it. And you have the image of or we just created as websites. So there it is all here. You have this, you can click on it. It gives you options to link it to the other sites on your pages. And that is how you can add these animated buttons and your colorful banners. Even the animated ones work. I did try with Google Workspace. There is this animated one. So if I add on to my page, I click on this, I give it Google Workspace for Education. Let's say that's my page name. Here it appears, it's blank. I insert an image here, upload. I go here. This is the image I had uploaded. It's up here, and you have the animated header as you have. And you can create them in the headers from yours, and you can give it a name up or below. You can enlarge it the way you can rename it. So that's about it. In the sessions to come, maybe we can do more sessions on creating this in detail. So that's it from me. Moving on to the next one we've got is Dr. Varia again, sharing with us a quick take on Google certifications.
So you're on mute.
So, thanks. Thank you, Harpreet ma'am. It was really a wonderful explanation from your side regarding Google Sites, and we learned a lot today. And I'm pretty sure that GEG Ludhiana is going to be learning very much under your able leadership. So
Thank you, sir.
Thanks again for the same. And I beg Narjit ma'am to just share my screen. So here again, so here again, we are talking about Google certifications. Yeah, just as Harpreet ma'am has shared enough of it, and as Narjit ma'am has shared regarding different tools of Google's, different utilities of Google's, the G Suite applications, the different utilities of the Google applications, right? One would be definitely fascinated and eager to learn about certifications. So here you see there are different categories of certification. That is Google for Education Certified Educator Level 1, Level 2. Then you have Google Certified Trainer. Then you have Google Certified Innovator and Google Certified Coach. These are different kinds of certifications, and there are also many more if you would like to go for, say, for Google administrations, Google G Suite administration certifications, or certifications, special certifications for the IT people. And there are different other levels of certification as well. But since we are educators, we are going to discuss about certifications that are relevant for educators. So when you talk about level 1 and level 2, level 1 focuses on the introduction of different applications by Google, just as Google Docs or Google Drive or Google Sheets, Forms, etc. So in level 1, it is expected the teacher must know about those tools, that how these tools are working, what are these tools meant for. So level 1 is the basic knowledge about all the tools. It is a 3 hours paper. 180 minutes paper is there. It's a proctored examination, and it's pretty easy to clear it out. It's a cost of it is $10 plus the tax, and it's very easy to clear it out once you have to go through the fundamentals training. Then after comes level 2. Level 2 again focuses on the same tools, the same applications that were there in level 1, but the difference is now is the utility of the tool. So level 2 is like we are deep diving into those applications like Google Docs and Google Drive and Google Sheets and Google Forms. We are deep diving into it, and you are learning how to use the same set of tools in your classroom to explain the students. How are you going to make use of those tools for education purpose? How are you going to make use of those tools as a pedagogy for teaching and learning? So level 2 focuses on that. And level 1 and level 2 certificates are basically for the educators. It's okay if you go for level 1 or level 2 or both. But if you're still curious to march ahead your journey into Google certifications, then next is Google Trainer or Google Certified Coach. So the concept of both of it is same. Google Certified Trainer is giving you an authority to officially train different educators or other educators, and you can still register yourself as a trainer. So here the concept is it's one to many. So there is one trainer and then could be many educators or many pupils. When you talk about Google certified coach, it is one to one. It is the same concept, but your teaching is one to one. So when you're teaching one to one, the pedagogy will change. When you're teaching one to many, the pedagogy will change. So if you're addressing a group, you will be demonstrating, you will be showing them something. But when you are going to teach a one person at a time, it's just like you're hand holding the person. So as a certified coach, you have one person to teach. So you may have different time slots. You will be having different time slots to teach one person, like hand holding, and you have to take that educator through the journey of one academic calendar. So you have to handle that particular teacher and educator into their school curriculum, and you have to make them understand how they would be using these Google tools into their school or into their regular work days as a pedagogy. On the other hand, when you talk about Google certified innovator, it is still something different and more as compared to trainer or coach. Here the concept is you are an innovator. You face so many challenges as a trainer, as an educator, and now this certified innovator course will help you overcome those challenges, to meet with those challenges, and find out a way that will help you to overcome those challenges and continue your marching ahead into the field of educational pedagogy or teaching pedagogy using technology. So these are different level of certifications. I would highly recommend that if you're into teaching, if you're an educator, you should at least go for level 1 and level 2. However, if you feel that after level 2, if you feel that, okay, I can still go ahead with the journey of certifications with Google being into education, then certified trainer or certified coach is another thing you can plan for. For Google certified innovator, I would suggest that if you're into the field of IT or if you're an IT head of your school, then you can go for Google certified innovator. Now, what you see the hierarchy over here. I have laid down level 1, level 2 on the top, and I've laid down all the three at the bottom. That means if you need to do the trainer, innovator, or coach certifications, you must first have these two certificates. These are the basic certifications. You will not be able to go for a certified innovator program or certified trainer program unless and until you have level 1 and level 2 certifications. So level 1 and level 2 certifications are the base certifications, and one must achieve those certifications in order to go ahead in their journey in other Google certifications. So as an educator, it is very much relevant to how to use these Google tools as a pedagogy for explaining children their topics. Level 1, level 2 will help you to understand these topics or understand these applications, and will help you make a new pedagogy or different pedagogy to help the students understand using remote teaching and learning methods. So this is all about certifications. If you got any doubt regarding certifications, I would wish that you can just post your doubts in the query, and we can then check it up. Yes, Harpreet ma'am?
Absolutely, Vishal sir, you've given them quite an insight of the overview of how certifications are. They can talk to us in case they're leading. And just to let you know, Dr. Vishal sir, Narjeet ma'am, Deepti ma'am, all of us are here to lead those boot camps that I have been following as a teacher. So we can always get connected. We know where to look forward to when we are planning, and we will get the basics from the beginning. Thank you so much, Vishal sir. Moving on to our next guest, we have got Ms. Deepti Sahni, CEO and founder of Mahatattva, a thought leader in technology integration and strategy. She completed her Certificate of Education Studies from College of Teachers in Institute of Education, London, UK, and has trained the teaching languages through technology from Trinity College, UK. She was the leader for ICT at the British School and has been a teacher educator for last 20 years now. Before setting up Mahatattva, she worked as head ICT initiatives, Learn Today, India Today Group. In March 2019, she was awarded the BET Asia Leadership Award at Kuala Lumpur for her work on design thinking for social change project. She is working with Google India on NCRT projects and teacher training, and recently conducted her first MOOC for CBSE in India. There is more that we can add on to her feathers on her caps. I have a personal connection with Deepti ma'am starting from where I started to where I am. She has been a pillar to motivate me, to take me to where I am. She's always been a guiding light for me, and in professional and personal zones, I would say. And as she likely said just before the session, I am a daughter to her. I'm highly obliged. All yours, Deepti ma'am. The stage is yours.
I'm just going to take a couple of minutes. I think a lot has been said. And if you can just share my screen, the slides, if you can put up the slides for me, or do you want me to do it? I can do that as well.
Now we are doing it. So here you go.
So as Harpreet settles that out, I just want to put it out in the open that Mahatattva is the professional development partner with Google. We have been in the journey for the last 4 years. And before I joined Mahatattva, I have been a trainer for the last 20 years, and 12 years of that have involved Google. We have worked pan-India, and we have trained teachers to accomplish the levels that Vishal was talking about, and hand-holding them to reach various levels in the certification. So as I speak, we have trained about 40,000 teachers, and 12,000 of those teachers have been during this pandemic. We are very proud of that achievement. Harpreet, if you can click on the tab which is showing the presentation, I'll be able to showcase what I'm talking about. So the first tab on your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Narjeet ma'am. Ma'am, you're on mute. Should I share?
Yeah, my net is apping up today. So if you could share your screen, Harpreet. Your screen is shared.
Yes.
We just have to. Yes. Yes, please. Go on.
Yeah, if you can go down to the 4 slides that I have. Yeah. So that's actually has been our aim and mission, having worked very closely with Bani. Bani is a real future leader, and we worked with CPSC beginning of this year in March, where we launched the first MOOC, and we had 1 million teachers who attended that MOOC on blended learning, and more than 1 lakh teachers were certified. We also recently are working on training teachers in Maharashtra and Gujarat and other cities. Like Harpreet is a straight product from those trainings, where she relentlessly went on to the level 1, level 2, and now we are waiting for her GCT journey. And these trainings are what she is climbing up to now, and will be a GCT soon. So if you can change on to the next slide, please. We have also decided on a MOOC for Google. So we will be launching this next week, where anybody from any school can join this. This is free of cost. There are no charges to this. So you just come on to this Google Classroom. You can clear the 3 modules that are there with 3 assessments, and you will be given this certification from Google. Our endeavor has always been to work with the teachers, to work besides the teachers, and ensure that they are there with the how the children are just chugging along. So we need our teachers also to be there with them, so that they are empowered to be able to lead their classes. There are lots of things that have been said about the certifications and why are they important. I think once you do the level 1, level 2, and you join GEGs like Amritsar, Jalandhar, there are so many now, 16 or 17 of them that have become live suddenly over the pandemic. You will see that there is so much to learn. So if the clear example today was, you've done Google Tools, and Harpreet just took you so much higher with her Google site. So there is not only the basic thing that you can do, but you can create, you can innovate, you can also go on to that level where you are leading a section, just like Harpreet is leading Ludhiana, started her journey today. So I would just end with giving my blessings and best wishes, Harpreet. May you continue to rise. I know you are a go-getter. So all the very best. And I have to move on to another meeting, which I've put on hold. So I will see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deepti ma'am, for being here and gracing us.
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you. So moving on, we have got our last guest who was hard to find, Trace. She is from the US, Stephanie Howell. Thank you so much for being here. Because of the time gap, the time strain, she has very nicely agreed to be here. A very good morning to you, I would say, Stephanie.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
for
And good evening to you guys.
Thank you so much. And a very happy Teachers' Day. So, Stephanie comes from Columbus, Ohio, an experienced instructional tech coordinator with a demonstrated history of working in the primary and secondary education industry. She is skilled in coaching, classroom management, lesson planning, educational technology, and curriculum development. A strong professional with master's degree focused in educational leadership from Western Governors University, Stephanie is the founder of GEG Global. All yours, Stephanie. Over to you with leadership.
Thank you so much. I am
Thank
so excited to be here today. Time zones are my enemy. So I was like, please send me a Google Calendar invite. And honestly, that's my life. If I did not have Google, I think I would be so lost. If I had to convert myself, if I had to do all these different things. So I am definitely living in the right time zone or the time, whatever. So today we're going to be talking about Google certifications and more. We're going to be talking about the coach and the innovator one. And so if you want to or you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. But you can also reach out to me on Twitter if that's easier. My handle is down below by my image. So feel free if you have any questions or need any support, reach out to me. Happy to provide whatever I can or even link you to somebody that might be able to help you. So first things first is Innovator. So the Google Innovator program was probably one of my favorite Google certifications. So you do need a couple different certifications in order to become a Google Innovator. You do have to have your level 2 certification. And with Innovator, it is a little bit of a process. You have to fill out a pretty lengthy application. And when I was filling this out, I was like, oh my gosh, like you have this imposter syndrome. Like, I'm not good. There's other people that are better than me. And so you kind of like go back and forth with your self-worth about, am I the right person for this? I would say do it, apply. If you don't get in, there's people that have just kept applying and then they finally do get in. Then once you do get in, there's like an announcement. And let me tell you about my announcement. So I was a part of the Sydney 19 cohort. So again, time zones. And with those time zones, we got a message around 2 a.m. And I don't know, I just couldn't sleep. And I opened up my phone and there was like all these messages in a Google chat. And that is how I found out I got into the Innovator Academy because I didn't check my email first. And then I checked my email and I was like, no, I didn't. Like, there's no way I got in. Because before the Innovator Academy, I was a shy educator. I didn't share as much as I do now. It really did boost my confidence and it allowed me to really focus my perspective on the user. Where before I might have been a little bit more towards myself instead of like focusing on this student has a disability. Let's look through the lens of them and how can we fix that educational setting for them. So you learn a lot. You learn the design thinking process in the Innovator Academy. And you also, after you go to the academy, it's a 3-day academy. Last year they did a virtual one just because of COVID. So we're still waiting to see what the future is going to hold for Innovator. But there were those post-academy blues. You miss everybody because you're around people who are go-getters. You're around those Saturday, Sunday type teachers that are working because it's a hobby. They enjoy it. And so that's not, I mean, I've got teachers like that in my community, but it's not everybody. And so just being around those type of people really boosts me up. I can go to those people after the academy and I can just say, I'm working on this project. Can you help me kind of brainstorm some ideas? Because we are better as together as a community. And then after all of that, being an innovator really impacted, again, my personal and professional life. Like I was saying, I was really shy. I didn't share as much on Twitter. I was more of like a lurker. And so just being able to have that background knowledge and have that confidence and meet amazing educators, I was able to start to impact other educators because I thought what I'm doing in my classroom is normal. And it wasn't normal. I was, doing a lot of blended learning practices. And when I became a coach, I quickly realized that not everybody was doing some of the things I did, or they were struggling with certain things. And so I was able to take my knowledge of the Innovator Academy, of design thinking process, and really use that to really impact and grow educators around the world. And then PLN, so that personal learning network, I made the most amazing friends. And they helped me have a different perspective. They helped me slow down. They're like, hey, Stephanie, why don't you think about this? Or did you think about how, if you roll out this, did you use vision? Stephanie Rothstein, she has a website. It's called Can We Talk? And it's all about a personality test. And I love the personality test because we're all different. And we need each of the 4 different colors. There's green, yellow, or gold. There's also orange, and then there's blue. We need all 4 people to make a really good team. And because of that, I am able to really have those connections with those people to remind me, because I'm a gold. So I'm very type A. I'm let's get this done. I'm very task-based. Where Abbott is a blue, and he's like, Stephanie, how are you? And I'm like, we don't have time to talk about our feelings. Like, we just got to get this done. But it makes you slow down and really do think about other people and what they need, how they need feedback. Because without people, we're not going to grow education. We need to build those relationships. Right here is a link to more information if you are trying to think about, what do I want to do if I'm an innovator? So again, here's the application to apply. They are working on the links because they're kind of trying to figure out what next year is going to look like. And then they do have all of the innovators in the Google directory. So you can look up anybody from there if you want to connect. You are also able to see past cohorts. So here are all the different cohorts. And if you click a cohort, so like here, for example, is the Sydney one, the best one. You can see everybody that was in my cohort. And then if you click more, you can learn a little bit more about them. You can see their challenge video. So you do have to come up with a challenge. Do not come up with the solution for that challenge. You are just simply looking for what issue in education is out there. What is your biggest issue in that educational world that you want to solve? And again, you don't want to have a problem, because when you go to this Innovator Academy, that is what that's what you're developing. And honestly, I had my problem. And when I went to Innovator, I started talking to all these different people from around the world, and my perspectives changed. And so I'm glad I didn't have a solution, because I think I would have been stuck on it if I would have stopped there. Here's that application. And then again, there's all the cohorts, so you can kind of get to know everybody, and you can reach out to all these amazing people. Follow them on Twitter, get to know them if this is something that you're interested in doing. And then if you want more information, again, there's so much information on that certifiedinnovators.com website that goes into more detail about this type of certification. It is intense. I'm hoping that they bring back going to the Google office, because that was huge. You got free food, you got coffee all day, tea. Australian breakfast is amazing. Brekkie, I was like, my favorite meal of the day, and I didn't even like breakfast before going there. So just do it. Just go in and try it. You'll be really glad that you did. And again, that application is pretty stressful, but just find some people. Think about your problem. Again, don't come up with a solution. The video is hard because it has to be exactly the time limit. Write out what you're thinking about. Keep to those time or the word counts, all that kind of stuff. So really focus in on the application and start it now. Start working on it. And once those open up, you'll be able to submit. And then again, you do need to have that level 2 certification. And so it's good for 3 years because there are some things you want to do ahead of time. So get that level 2. You want to make sure that you take that test. It's about 3 hours. And then you need an 80% to pass. You also need access to your webcam and Google Chrome. And then again, it's about a 3-day academy. Last year it was virtual, so they had a longer academy. So just kind of look over what is the academy going to look like. And the VLA Academy, I was like, I wouldn't want to do that. I was kind of jealous though. All of their projects were amazing because they had more time where I only had 3 days. I only had 3 days with my community, where if I would have had the 8 weeks that I think they had, I would have probably had a really, really good project by the end, but I had to come back to work and every other thing that was kind of happening in the world. So kind of think about that. Also think about that challenge that you want. Do not solve that challenge. Make sure you interview a student, a teacher, interview those users who are affected by that challenge and film your video. Check the video requirements because sometimes it's 90, other times it's a minute. So just check what they decided for that year. And then make sure you apply before the deadline and just do it. It's okay if you fail. Just try it, get it out there, save your application so you can rework it for the following year. And then with the Google coaching. So coaching is my passion. I've seen a lot of transformation in education through coaching. And because of that, I highly, highly suggest the Google Coach certification. And so what you're going to do first is there is a 5-step coaching model. And so you'll go to the Google site. Everything, again, is hyperlinked on these slides. And right here is the Certified Coaches program. Here's a quick overview of the program, and then it takes you into a really, really good curriculum. It talks about the 5-step coaching model, and it also talks about working with teachers one-on-one. And so there's a Google Trainer certification and coaching. How that's different is training is like whole group instruction going over some type of tool. Coaching, you're usually focused on a problem in their classroom. How am I going to help them solve this problem that's happening in their classroom? Okay, so that's kind of the difference. And again, I saw a ton of improvements in instructional practices with my teachers going through the coaching cycle because sometimes whole group doesn't apply to everybody. And so because of that, with the coaching, I had to really drill down to what is your problem? What is it that I can take off your plate? How can we use technology to make your life easier so that you can do this type of learning with your students? So it's more focused on the teacher and what that teacher needs. Once they do that, you're going to pass a test. It's 80% or higher. And it's right after you finish the curriculum. So you're going to go through the curriculum on the Google Coaching website. And again, the curriculum is really good. It talks about different language and different ways to be a better coach. Once you submit that curriculum, you then go to that portfolio. And you will create a portfolio which has a short video, 3 different artifacts about your coaching, and then you submit that. And then you just need a reference letter from somebody who's familiar with your coaching work. So I asked my boss. And then after all of that, you need your level 1 and level 2 certification. So again, that's why those are important to get those. And this is a video that goes over the whole process because this is just a quick overview. But if you are interested with Global GEG, I did a session on So You Think You Can Coach. And I go through what does the evidence look like? What does this look like? What does this part look like? And all of that kind of stuff. So you're able to really dive deep into the curriculum and know what is expected and how can I better serve my teachers. And congratulations on your launch.
Thank you so much. That was really informative. Step by step, you had planned. So thank you so much for your time, Stephanie, for making it possible here. And I would need wishes. I would thank all of the esteemed guests that we had today on screen to take out time from their busy schedules, be part of our launch. And from here, what we expect is the vision is to take forward more sessions, be it regional, be it English based, be it bilingual. We're going to take it forward from here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
So with this, again, many congratulations, Harpreet, and we hope to do lots and lots of, and we hope to see lots and lots of informative PD sessions, and I hope that we are going to have a beautiful journey for GEG Ludhiana. And with that, I thank everybody for joining us today, and thank you for being here. And you
Thank
can
you so
follow GEG Ludhiana on Twitter, on Facebook to know more about the sessions and everything. So thank you all for joining.
Thank you for joining. Happy Teachers Day and a happy Sunday.
Happy Teachers Day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.